Hey guys, so I have Michaela here with me today, and we are going to talk about her pageant and kind of what led her up to it and what she got in the works and anything she wants to share. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of give a little background, and then we can dive into everything.
Yeah, so my name is Michaela Taylor. Hold on, pause. I can hear myself. Do you think that's going to be a problem?
I'm not getting any echo on my end.
Okay, great. Okay, so my name is Michaela Taylor. I decided to be in a pageant December, January. I'm a mom of two. Pageants were not in my mind whatsoever, and it just kind of happened. But I'm a mom. I also own my own business. I'm a marketing coach and help small businesses with their marketing online. And yeah, and now I'm a pageant girl, and pageant is full time, basically.
Yes. It doesn't take a lot of time away from like your day to day with the like digital marketing.
Yes, it does. It's been a huge adjustment, and um, yeah, I have a lot to say on that. So I'm gonna go wherever you want to go.
Well, we can dive wherever. Why don't we start by maybe you giving some background on what it takes to get into these pageants because um they it's something I'm not familiar with, right? And you had that sash on. I might that's it. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone was like congratulating you, and you were like, wait a minute. And so, like, that was something new for me and a lot of other people to understand even how you get involved in these.
Yeah, so let me share. Okay, so as part of my business, I go to networking events. And there's a women networking event that I'm a part of called the Polka Dot Powerhouse. And Jackie McKenna, who is the state pageant director, I met her at a Coffee Connect. And that's how we connected. And she saw me and was like, "You're beautiful. You should think about doing a pageant." And I was just kind of taken aback because I never like saw myself as that woman, because everyone like has like that picture perfect body, life, money, like all those different things you see. And so I never pictured myself as the pageant woman. And so as I thought about it and I talked to my husband about it, and I kept seeing Jackie post about it, and then I kept getting um, other pageant girls on my social media. And so I was like, oh, I think this will be really fun. I think it will be, because I remember telling you when we met, I'm always about learning how to become better. What can I do to up level myself as a person? How can I grow? Like all the things. How can I challenge myself? And doing a pageant was definitely one of those things that I'm like, oh yeah, I can definitely challenge myself doing this.
Yeah, I remember we kind of bonded on that a little bit. Plus, we were both like, we're going to try something new this year.
Yeah, why not? It'll be fun. Because like my whole motto is just like, if it doesn't work out, oh well, I learned. There's a bunch of learning and things that I've taken away from this. And then if I do win, that's also great. Like there's just no lose lose. It's not a lose lose. It's a win win either way for me.
Yeah, I love that. Sorry, I cut you off, so I'll let you go.
No, sorry, I didn't know. You're good.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. I was just gonna
No,
that.
I was gonna. Oh, I was gonna say, because I was gonna go back to what you said about people are like congratulating you, and a lot of people don't know that you pay to enter into the pageant world. And so getting that sash, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, congratulations, which it is congratulations, because you're entering into a new like season, you're challenging yourself, but it's not what people actually think. So
like they think that you've already won the pageant, but really you just took the step
yeah,
entering yourself
yeah,
in the pageant.
yeah, basically.
How's it feel like when people come up and they're like, congratulations? Do you not know what to say?
Um, so there was one event that I was going to. I was serving ice cream at Ben and Jerry's in Henderson, and I had my sash on and I was walking in it. Ben and Jerry's is in like this mall, outdoor mall type area. I can't remember where the location was at, but I kept getting stopped. Like, oh my gosh, congratulations! Like, oh, it's Mrs. Aliante, and it felt really overwhelming. And it was one of my first events that I went to, and I definitely was like taken back. Like, oh, like people are actually noticing. It's like I don't like being center of attention, but I'm kind of putting myself as the center of attention if I'm having my sash on. But I didn't know how to take it, and I was kind of shocked. Like, oh yeah, like trying to push it down. Like, oh yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that cool, but I mean, people think it's awesome. So
Well, I mean, most people are not going to enter themselves into a pageant. You know what I mean? Like, then that's why there's not so few people in pageants.
yeah, definitely.
Um, when when you sign up, so how does it work? Like, where do you start when it comes to a pageant, right? Because you're leading up to like Miss America, right? That's the goal.
Yes. Yeah, that's the goal of nationals. Um, I have never, let me say, I have never been in a pageant. I have never watched a pageant before. I just watched like a full on pageant like maybe 2 months ago. Like I literally have never watched anything. I've never watched Miss Congeniality, like nothing. So I have no idea. I had a full idea about it. Yeah, I haven't even seen the movie, and people will ask me like, "Oh, have you seen Miss Congeniality?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Oh my gosh, you have to see it! Like you're in a pageant and you haven't seen it." But I'm going in completely blind. I did get a pageant coach, so I'm not blind anymore. But yeah, I guess it's kind of the proof there to like, if you want to do something and you've never done it before, too bad, you can do it still. Like, don't give me the excuses.
I think you do something on social media, some kind of like positive outreach, I guess. I seen like a thing on your story. What was that about?
Are you talking about my 7-day social media challenge?
Maybe that might have been it. It was something along the line to motivate people.
Yeah. So it's part of my platform. So when you have a pageant, you have a platform, and your platform is like your message that you want to share out to your community, change that you want to make. And so I created my 7-day challenge so my 7-day challenge is on social media. It's on my Instagram stories. And the whole point is to do something every single day that gets you outside of your comfort zone. Because I did not find the courage or the confidence in myself to join a pageant without doing like daily, weekly, monthly type steps to get me outside of my comfort zone. So, because confidence is not built overnight, it's built like every day doing something.
So what is your 7-day challenge exactly? Like, what do you just pick anything to get you out of your comfort zone, or do you have set like tasks?
I haven't set tasks, and maybe I should clarify this more on my social media now that I'm talking about it. But I give people like idea on my social media stories, Instagram stories, and like ideas of what they can do. But really, it's just like, what is something in your heart or your mind that you have always wanted to do, but you've been afraid to do? So I guess giving them the permission and seeing like doing these little things that don't seem so big, and conquering those can lead to being able to conquer another goal or desire that you've wanted to achieve in your life.
So what day are you on?
I start my first day on Wednesday.
Oh, you start on Wednesday, so you haven't.
I start on Wednesday. I've done it in the past, and yeah, but I'm doing like several challenges leading up to my pageant in June.
So for this 7-day challenge, what kind of tasks are you setting for yourself?
So like there's one that comes to mind, because usually I get my idea of what I want to do when I'm in the middle of doing it, if that makes sense. But in past challenges that I've done, like in April, I did a challenge or two, and that was during the time where I was trying to find sponsors to help sponsor me for my pageant journey. And that is really uncomfortable to do. Like, I hated doing that, reaching out to people, being like, hey, would you be interested in sponsoring me? This is what I can provide you, like that type of thing. Because you're asking for money, like, hey, would you sponsor me $200 to help support my pageant journey? And in return, I'm going to put you on my ad page. Like, it's just super uncomfortable to do that. And so that was something that I challenged myself with, is like, I get scared every single time reaching out to someone, but I still did it anyways. And ended up getting so much support sponsors wise with friends and family and all the things, and it paid off.
So did you set like a goal of how many people you're going to reach out to, like, per day, or what was like the set?
I had a goal of how many people I I had a goal of how much I wanted to achieve, and then reached out to as many people as possible that I could, that I knew personally that had a business, or asking in my networking group. But I had a goal of who I want. And like every day I would be like, okay, I really need to reach out to this person. I'm going to push myself to reach out, even though it's really uncomfortable and I don't like doing it. And the thing is this kind of leads into my business in a way, because I gained the confidence to reach out to people and ask for sponsorships. And now I can take that confidence that I developed there and put it into my business, and feel more comfortable reaching out to people and being like, hey, you should join X program. You should join this type of thing. So like, it all, gaining the confidence and doing the daily tasks is going to lead into so many different areas of your life.
And like we talked about a little bit, like, just kind of touched on like how much this pageant has affected like your business. So can we talk about that a little bit, like kind of how it's affecting it, and like good and bad ways? Because it sounds like there are good things that are happening based off of the confidence you're building that will lead into it benefiting, but there's also taking away.
Yeah. So let's start with the positive. Well, negatives. I'll start with the negatives first. I have not put a lot of time in my business whatsoever. It has been completely on the back burner for me. And there are many days where I feel inadequate and not good enough, and feeling like I'm starting all over again, because I have taken such a long break in between, like, being really active on social media. That's how I attract my sales and do my marketing, is on social media. So that is something that has been the negative impact, because I'm so exhausted from all the mind stuff that happens in my brain on the daily with pageant stuff, that I just don't have the energy or capacity to go into my business. So,
well, and it's not like you're just doing a pageant and running a business. You also have children.
And I have children. Yes, I do. I do have 2 children. So it's just a lot to juggle. So, yeah.
Now, what are some like positives? So how long, well, before you dive into that, how long have you had this business?
Okay. So that's a story in itself too. So I've been doing marketing for a year now, or a year and a half. I lose track of time, but it's been about a year and a half with marketing. I've had other businesses where, funny enough, after I had my daughter and struggled with postpartum depression and did some mindset work and worked with a mindset coach, I became certified as a mindset coach, and then actually taught women and mothers confidence as a business. And then that kind of shifted and changed into a mindset coach for business owners. And then I just love the marketing part of running a business. And so then I went to school to do marketing, and that's how I got here with my marketing business. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And how long have you, how long have you been in like the marketing field, I guess?
Marketing field, a year and a half. Yeah.
Okay. And then you did the coaching for how long before that?
Though that was probably 3 years.
Okay. Okay.
Before
So
we-
it's been a while.
Yeah.
It was the coaching. So I know it kind of led up to it based off of like circumstances that you were going through, but like, what was your like start goal? Like when it came to a career path, did it always kind of go that way? Or was there something else you had in mind that kind of shifted?
Um,
I know it's
Did I
kind of
have,
like
like,
random,
always
but
wanted to be a coach.
yeah, like,
was
did you always want to like be a coach, or did you have something else in mind and it just kind of like fell into your lap?
So before I became a coach, it kind of just happened because before that, I mean, this is like, oh, my daughter's going to be 9 in July. So 5 or 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, I was doing, I had a business with like an MLM type company, and he was I hired this guy as my like a mindset coach, and seeing how much he changed my mindset on just everything, not even the MLM business that I was having. I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. Like I had no idea that our thoughts really like affect so much of our lives. And then I just dived into that and loved it. And so that's how I got into that. So I was never I didn't know that I wanted to be a coach. So or
It was like the infatuation of like how you can rewire your brain, basically.
yeah.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I got off track because I get curious and I ask a lot of questions. So, back to the positive impacts the pageant has had on your business.
Yeah. So I mentioned one, which is like the confidence to sell, reach out to people, because I always hated reaching out. I felt like it was so, what's the word? Gross. Yeah, I don't like asking people. I don't like that type of sales thing. I want you to come to me. I want you to do the work and come to me, and me not do any work and ask you. But I kind of see the difference of like being close like that and the right way to ask, be like, hey, would you be interested? It's not so, oh, what's the word? Abrasive, I guess. It's just more like a chill type selling.
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking today, actually, I went on a walk and I was thinking about other positive things that have happened. And one of them is, so in my business, I follow a lot of people who are in the same industry as me. And I've always struggled with like comparison. Oh, they've been in business this long and they're already making this much money. They have these many clients. I only have these many clients. Like just the comparison of they're doing better than me, that kind of thing. And just feeling always stuck. But with my pageant journey, I have decided I don't pay attention to any of the other contestants. Like I don't follow most of them. If I do follow them, it's because I'm not intimidated by them. But if there's a contestant that I am intimidated by, then I don't follow her. Like I just completely have removed myself from the other contestants because I don't want to be worrying about what they're doing and then thinking that I'm going to fail or they're going to win. They're so much better at, they should be the title holder than me, like that type of mindset work. Because it is so exhausting to be constantly thinking about the other contestants. So and because I have like stepped myself away from the other contestants and don't interact with them on social media in particular, my mindset has been so good. Like I just feel like I'm going to win. Like everyone doesn't know, but I'm just like waiting. Like in my brain, in my mind, what I'm picturing, like I am already the title holder. It's just I haven't gotten my crown and sash yet. No one knows it except for me. I just haven't gotten it yet. And I'm just waiting. It's like I'm waiting for the competition to start so I can finally get my crown and sash. And so that's just kind of what I've been feeling. And I feel like it's because I just don't pay attention to the other competitors. So
It helps you stay in that like focused.
yeah, in my own lane. Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good way to look at it, because then you kind of, that takes away like all those doubts in yourself. You're only focused on you.
Yeah, definitely.
So when it comes to like the pageant, what do you have to do to prep for it? You said you hired a coach. Like what do you have to do? Because like I'm familiar with like, you know, the bodybuilding competitions, but not so much like an actual like pageant. It's a little different, but it's like the same concept.
Yeah, it definitely is. So how to prepare for a pageant? You know, I'm really grateful that I came across not a podcast, a pageant coach, because I wasn't planning on hiring a pageant coach until I realized that it was an actual thing. I didn't realize that there were pageant coaches. And so I'm so glad I did, because I thought it was going to be super easy. In my head, I kept telling myself like, "Oh yeah, it'll be easy to like do an interview and walk." Like I walk in heels all the time with my going to church or whatever. I thought it was going to be easy. It's not. It's so much more in depth. And one thing that I have to prepare for is my interview. I do an interview in front of 5 judges, and it's 5 minutes long. And people ask me, I had friends ask me, they're like, "Oh, do you know what questions you're going to get asked?" And I'm like, "Nope, I have no idea what questions I'm getting asked." They're like, "Well, then how do you know what to say?" And I'm like, "Well, I have a interview strategy that I have created with my pageant coach, and that's how I'm going to prepare to know what to say in front of the judges." So there's the judges part interview, and that's about 50% of the score. And then 25% is fitness and the swimsuit walk. And then 25% is the evening gown walk. So, and really the walk and the fitness is the confidence that you exude on stage when you're walking. So,
when it comes to like the questions and stuff, how do you prepare an answer like that? You know what I mean? Like it could be anything, and then you have to have an answer kind of ready for everything.
yeah, basically. So, I'm trying to decide how much to say, because I don't know what is like my pageant coach's knowledge and information and what I should share. Yeah.
So very broad, like obvious.
I'm really focusing on like, because this is the thing. I don't want to sound like every other contestant. I want to stick out in a way. And so I'm going to be personable and share like stories that I actually go through and have gone through when they ask me a question. So if they're like, "Well, what are your top values in your life?" That's one of the questions that I've practiced before. And so I'm going to share like, "Well, these are my values and why I believe these type of values," and kind of show them how I can be the next title holder, if that makes sense. So you're trying just to be authentic and yourself and share about you, but also portray like how you're going to make a difference in your platform and as the next title holder.
So putting a personal spin on it, but also relating to like the audience, basically.
Yeah, I just don't want to sound like all the other girls, and then, but then maybe the judges are like, "Oh yeah, I remember her. She shared about her story as a cellist and how that made her a great leader, and she shared about this story." But then maybe the other lady is saying how she is a great leader because it's like it's a very vague response, if that makes sense. It's not as personable. Yeah.
More scripted than
Yeah.
something more unique and authentic.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to give away any like secrets or anything, obviously, but
Yeah.
with your coach, so does your coach kind of have like a general idea of like questions that are going to be asked, and then like you kind of practice those, or do they have like a different
Yeah.
type of strategy that you wouldn't really think of?
Um, she does have questions. She has a whole list of questions, and she's also very active in the pageant community. So she actually she's been a judge before. She's been a part of judges, like not just a judge, but like being a part of the experience, if that makes sense. So she's like hearing the questions that are being asked. And so because she's in that world actively, she gets more questions. And so we're constantly adding questions into the pool of questions just that we can practice.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like an ongoing thing. Like as other things come up, she's like, okay, let's practice this. And then by the time you come up to your pageant, you'll have, 100 questions that you guys have gone through.
That we've practiced. Yeah. But it's not just the questions. It's like I have chosen 5 topics that I am going to relate to each question. And so when I'm asked a question, I can be like, oh, I'm going to talk about this core topic. Because I have topics that are my main topics that I'm going to talk about and relate to the question, if that makes sense.
So like more like experiences versus like topics. Is that what you're saying? Like it's you have these experiences that you've had that are like an umbrella that'll trickle down to these questions.
Yes. Yeah. So like for example, one of my topics is motherhood. And then one of my topics is being a cellist, because I've been a cellist for 15 years. So, and then, I have 3 other topics that are my main topics that I'll talk about.
Nice. That's cool. That's super cool. I can see how that would work because any question can be related to at least one of 5 topics, right? Or experience.
Yeah.
When is your pageant? Like when is the first one?
It's June 8th.
June 8th. Okay. And then what pageant is this? So like how does this work in the ranking? I think you said there was like this and then it's state and then
Yes. So right now, June 8th is the state pageant, and I'm competing against others who live in Las Vegas or Reno or Carson City. And then that's the June 8th. All the women are getting together. And then whoever wins the state titles, which there's Mrs. America or Mrs. Nevada America or Mrs. Nevada American. They're 2 separate titles. And then they go to nationals, and then we compete against all the other 50 Mrs. America, State America, Mrs. California American, like all the different states.
Oh, so there's 2 different like big like national
titles, yes, for the married women. Yep.
I did not know that there was 2 different ones. I just knew there's one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
America and American. Yep.
Why did they call it American?
I have no idea. I should find out. I don't know.
Which one do you want to be a part of?
I want to be a part of the Mrs. America. Because the vibe that I have gotten, because I don't want to discredit American because she's her own title. Like she won that title. It's a big title, national title. But from what I've gathered information wise, America is like the bigger title compared to American.
I would say it's definitely more well known. I didn't know about American.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but either way, like I am going to be so happy whether I'm America or American. I don't care. I'm just doing a title.
So when it comes to those 2, is there different criteria? 1 to like participate, and then 2, can you participate in both?
So you cannot have both titles.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 separate women who get each title. And there is no criteria. Like, you can be any age. You just have to be married. You don't need a talent.
You have to be married? That's a criteria?
Yeah. For the Mrs. division, you have to be married. Yeah.
Oh, there's two. So there's even two different divisions there. You have Miss and then you have Mrs.
Yes. Yep. So, like one of a girl that I became friends with in the pageant group that I'm a part of when we practice, her name's Jaden, and she is in the Miss division. So she's single, she's not married. And we're going to be competing at the same time on June 8th, but she's competing for the Miss division, the Miss title.
Interesting. I did not know.
So we're not rivals. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know what the reason is, but it's kind of cool that they are like separate and there's like different opportunities.
Yeah. And I think you can be any age for the Miss division. Most of the time, those girls are younger in the Miss division, and then the Miss is older. I mean, there's a lady who's competing she's got to be in her late 60s.
Really?
Maybe early 70s. I have no idea. But she's an older lady, and I think it's really freaking cool that she's competing.
That's awesome.
At that
yeah. Had she done this before? Is this her first time?
No, this is her first time as well. A lot of us, it's been our first time. So there's 6 of us Mrs. contestants, and all 5 of us have never done a pageant before. Only one has, and she did it like many, many years ago, a long time ago.
Oh, okay. That's super cool. So
yeah,
when it comes to like the state title, there's no pre-qualifications or anything to do before that. Anyone can just sign up for Miss Nevada.
Yeah, anyone can sign up to compete for the title of Mrs. Nevada. Yep.
Huh. I never knew that. I never knew that.
It just depends. Like, if you're not married, then you go into the Miss. If you're married, then you go into the Mrs. And that's the qualification. Like, even if you're married and you don't have kids, you don't need to, you can still compete.
Interesting. So it doesn't even matter. There's no qualifications other than which division you go to based on your marital status.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're married, not a Mrs., not married, Miss.
Like, even age, nothing matters.
No, absolutely not. Nope.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I absolutely love it because 2 of the women are in their 50s and 60s. And then there's like 3 of us, like younger women who probably are in their 30s and 40s. So like there's just a wide range of women and different experiences. And it's really cool because I think a lot of people picture like the perfect 22-year-old competing with the perfect body that is 5'6" or, whatever, like tall. I'm 5 foot, and it doesn't even matter how tall you are. Like, you can compete. You don't have to be the perfect stick figure. And you saw me, like, I'm not, my legs are bigger. I've grown muscles on my legs. Like I'm curvy. I'm not the stick figure 5'9" girl, model runway.
That's really cool that there's no like requirements for it and anyone can do it. Is everyone really like, have you met a lot of good people, like a lot of nice people, or have you ran into anyone that's kind of a little bit more ego driven?
No, everyone that I've come in contact with have been so nice, very supportive. The current queens, who is Gina Marin and Dr. Trudy Reese, have been such huge helps. They are amazing. And even the women that I am competing against, like, I haven't had any, what people would think, like, negative catty experiences with them.
That's awesome. Because
like, you never know. And it's just been all great because a lot of people imagine a pageant and you're like, oh, everyone's out to get you. Everyone's catty. Everyone's going to be rude and mean to you and degrade you or whatever. It's like, that's not the case. Like, just on Saturday, we were practicing our rehearsal dance. We have to dance at the beginning of the show on June 8th, all the contestants, and we were practicing our walk. And the older lady that I was telling you about, who's like in her 60s or 70s, she didn't know how to walk as well. And she's someone I am competing against, but I helped her like not learn how to walk. Like, we're not beating each other down. Like, hey, let me show you how to walk. You don't have to copy me. Like, you don't have to do the same moves as me. Walk in a way that you feel comfortable and confident in, but this is how you do it. So that she's not walking on stage completely oblivious and not knowing what to do type of thing, because I want her to do well as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's like a community of girls coming together to compete against each other.
Yeah.
That's really cool. If so, what is like the biggest struggle you've had with a pageant so far?
Probably my biggest struggle. I know I talked about this, and the thing is I'm not perfect and no one else is perfect. So there were very tiny moments that I compared myself to this other lady who I'm competing against. She is someone that I see as I'm intimidated by her. And that seeing is, I don't follow her, but when we post things as contestants, we'll post things on our social media and the queens will share it on their Instagram stories. So I like to go on the queens' Instagram stories to see what they're up to and what they're doing, because hopefully I want to be them someday, right? So I want to follow what they're doing. And so they post the other contestants, and so I will see some of this lady's, show up on the feed, and then I get in my head and then start crying and thinking that I'm not going to make it and I'm going to fail, and like all the normal things that you're going to go through with any competition, so
Is it something that you could kind of twist your mindset, going back to like kind of that mindset, like how we beat it? Can you look at her more of an inspiration and not so much as a competition?
That's an interesting question, because I've kind of turned her into okay, so let me be a little bit long of a story, but one of the queens, Gina Marin, last year she competed and she won. She's a stay-at-home mom. I'm also a stay-at-home mom, and she never did a pageant before, and she won the Mrs. Nevada American title. So I see her as an inspiration of oh, if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I can win just like her. And so, but then this other lady, she had been on stages. She's a CEO of a huge company. She's had a lot of success. She's been on Los Angeles Forbes magazine, that's a lot. And so I would see that, and then I would switch my mindset and realize wait, she has done that and it's completely different than me, but that doesn't mean that I can't win, and doesn't make me any less of a contestant just because she's big CEO vibe on stage is a lot. You know what I mean? And so I've been able to be well, I've been on stages before. I've had to be judged in front of judges when I was a cellist and competed for a state title, and I've done this and that. So I'm trying to find things that qualify me as a good contestant, just like I'm seeing good qualifications in her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. It's just that it's a work in progress. We do it all the time, right? Without even thinking about it, where we compare ourselves to people. Scrolling on social media or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Human nature. We just got to stop ourselves sometimes to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, put myself in check.
Mm-hmm.
What about, okay, so we've covered most everything. So I'm going to ask you just an oddball question here. So Well, first, actually, before I ask this, because it's kind of a wrap it up question, I guess. Do you have anything else that you want to share about your experience, your life, anything with anything that I didn't ask a question on?
No, I guess the only thing I'd want to say for anyone who's listening, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, I guess, but my platform is more towards women, and I just want women to know, like, just try it. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Literally. And is the worst thing that could happen, is that really that bad? Or is it just like an ego thing or a pride thing that's like stopping you from doing it? You know what I mean? So just try it. Like, you never know what could happen. It, like, literally your life could change. You just walk around the corner and it's different because you took one simple step. So
scary things aren't so scary after you put action to it.
Yeah, definitely.
That was kind of leading into the question I was going to ask, because it was going to be like a piece of advice. But since that is kind of like the piece of advice that you're just giving general women, what would you get somebody who wants to do a pageant?
I would say the same thing. Like, do it. Like, seriously, try it. If I can be someone who has never watched one, who has never seen Miss Congeniality and has no idea about pageants, like, if I can do it, like, I know you can do it. And I know, I'm going to say this, I know so many people say that statement, but it's kind of true at the same time. So, because I know there's people, they'll be listening to me, like, and they'll have come up with all of these excuses. Well, I don't have enough money. Well, you could get sponsors. I got sponsors. You can ask for sponsors. Like, there's solutions to the excuses that someone comes up with. So
it's always a solution. Now, is there a piece of advice you'd give somebody, since you own your own business and it's still building, because we've talked about that a little bit? What kind of advice would you give somebody who either A, wants to start a business, or B, started a business but is struggling?
I would just say to not give up. Like, that has been my motto the whole entire way. Even though I've changed different businesses, that there's just so many times where I'm like, because this is the thing, is my husband does really well in his job, and I have moments where I'm taken care of. I don't need to run a business, or I don't need to have a business. I don't need this extra money type of thing. But then I want something for myself. Like, I want that piece of something that I built myself. You know what I mean? That proud moment. There was a point of this whole story of why I said this, and now I can't remember, like, connecting it all together. But what was I saying before? My mind completely blanked.
So I think you were kind of starting it off, and then you wanted to give some back into why you don't have to give it all into your business, but you want to have a business.
Yes. Oh, okay. I remember now. It's because my motto is, like, not giving up. And so there's so many times where I want to give up, because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, my husband can take care of me. But then, I don't want to give up. Like, I secretly want to build something that's mine. I just want to grow something. And I think it's really cool and an empowering feeling to do something like that. So I guess my advice would be to not give up, even though you want to times.
And then, since you do it all, you are competing in a pageant, you have a business, and you're a mom. What about a piece of motherly advice when you're running all of this stuff and taking care of kids at the same time, taking care of a husband? What kind of family advice, I guess, more than kids?
Yeah, I try to, if my daughter asks to play with me, maybe I just play with her. There's so many other things I could be doing besides playing with her. You know what I mean? And there's times where I don't want to play. I don't have the energy to do it. I'm done for the day. But taking the time to like create the connections with your family, whether that's playing with your daughter for 10 minutes, or one of my favorite things to do with my kids is before bed playing like Uno or something, so that we're having that time together, no devices. We're not playing video games. We're just having fun playing a game together. And that doesn't take very long. It takes like 30 minutes to play, or less, So it's something that everyone can take a moment out of their day to, because everyone's busy. We got things to do,
Yeah.
Oh, very long.
Yeah. What about with your husband? So like you said, they all get busy and then you have kids on top of it. That can make it really hard. So like, how do you guys keep your relationship alive?
Yeah, so we go on weekly dates. My son is getting to the point where he's 11, so we're now just starting to leave him at home by himself with my daughter, who's gonna be 9 in July. And he always asks, he's like, on Friday, are you and Dad gonna go on a date? Because he thinks it's cool to stay home,
Yeah.
Maybe for him. And he gets to have the home phone. It's a cell phone. He does have friends on that phone, but he gets to have the home phone to like call and text people. So he gets excited. But he asks, are you going to go on a date? So we go on weekly dates. And, our kids, there's a bedtime. I don't know about other parents, but like I know some parents where there's like no bedtime for the kids. And I'm like, no, my kids are going to bed at 8:30 so that I can have time with my husband from 8:30 to like 9:30 before we go to bed.
It's a little bit of quality time scheduled every single day, basically.
Every single day. Yeah.
That's awesome. It probably won't be so easy as they get older and become teenagers, but like while they're young, there's no reason you can't be like, it's bedtime.
I know. And it's funny because my son he's 11. He's not a teenager yet, but like he's entering into the middle school ages. And so it's been on my mind a lot, of like, oh, when he becomes a teenager, we're going to have less time together as a husband and wife. And then in my head, I'm like, no, he can go to his room. He can, he could read before bed. Like we'll have our time as a family. And then you go to your room and then Dad and I can have our time together. So.
Yeah. Well, and he'll still be the babysitter for date night. He doesn't like it as much.
Yeah, he'll get older and not like it as much because he'll want to go hang out with his friends. But then my daughter will be old enough; she should stay home by herself, so it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll all work out.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you pretty much got it figured out, girl.
I feel like I don't sometimes.
Yeah, I mean. Think of like your average person who can't balance all of that and you're like balancing it. I mean, you had an answer for every single question. I congrats you.
Yeah.
You gotta be proud of that.
Yeah.
It's not easy to balance everything. And I don't even have kids. I just have a dog and it's still a lot to balance. And so having kids too, and then being able to balance that and having those restrictions and like making sure that you're making time for everyone it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you, but you're killing it.
Yeah, thank you. I think it really comes down to, I don't know, like when you have kids, you just have to be more strategic. You know what I mean? Like just more strategic with your time and schedule and yeah.
But you can do it. You can do that.
Yeah.
Balance other stuff and nothing is impossible. Back to your mindset. Yes. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to say or anything on here? And no,
I feel pretty complete. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it was good chatting and learning about your experiences and everything. And I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
It's always good to talk to people who have great mindsets. So
yeah, definitely. Lifts each other up.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. And bye, guys.